So, homeboy asks, he says, what are the advantages of S-23 versus LGD-4033 in the application of bodybuilding? If, and this is hypothetically, if it were legal for humans to use, because it's not legal for humans to use. Don't listen to anything I say. This is purely a hypothetical situation regarding these two chemicals that may one day, if granted the freedom in the United States of, well, medical freedom to do as one chooses with that which they are capable of obtaining, when that happens, like, you know, that cold day in hell when the pharmaceutical industry is overturned and shut the hell down to provide real stuff that actually heals diseases, and then you can use things for prevention of disease and increasing muscle mass and decreasing body fat. On that cold day in hell, here's what you would want to observe, or here's what you would observe, is you would find that LGD-4033 is going to increase lipid profiles, so as to say the cholesterol, LDL, that comes from the liver mainly, it's going to increase that while decreasing, or while building muscle, which is actually very essential for the muscle building process so that the muscle stays attached to the bone. Whereas S-23 is going to decrease LDL cholesterol and is going to hit a DHT receptor, but it's also going to increase muscle mass and lean out the individual like a Winstrol, and is every bit as potent, probably more potent than Winstrol, definitely just in the science, more potent than testosterone milligram for milligram. S-23 going to be the more effective for bodybuilding purposes, and LGD-4033 more effective for overall well-being and easier to post-cycle therapy from. S-23 needing a dopamine agonist along with a estrogen blocker to regain testosterone. Although testosterone will rebalance after taking S-23 or LGD-4033 with no outside help, it would be best, in order to keep all muscle mass, to run a PCT-like test up, that is, increase your testosterone by 364%, decrease estrogen by 35%, along with a dopamine agonist, some type of L-Dopa, which some is in test up, but probably need a little more. This L-Dopa or dopamine agonist is going to shove prolactin down and prevent the side effects that would be of a gynecomastia type, even though there's no estrogen, because it eliminates estrogen. S-23 eliminates estrogen. What will happen is the bounce back from prolactin by decreasing the L-Dopa or dopamine in the bloodstream could cause a gynecomastia where you can produce milk, just like a what do they call that, a Tren or a Winstrol or D-Ball or something of that nature, or a Tren or a Deca. Now, the great thing about S-23 versus those is it doesn't stay in the system as long as, like, Deca, which can shut you down for a year. Like, the maximum amount of time that someone is going to be shut down from S-23, I think, to regain full 100% reproductive ability, and not to say this will actually increase your sex drive and decrease or eliminate your ability to have a baby. So literally, you increase muscle mass, you increase your sex drive and ability to have sex, like you have stamina, the whole 9 yards, but it also is going to build lean muscle mass, make you look more appealing. Now, with LGD 4033, the caveat to that is going to be that it is going to really have little to do with sex drive. Some say it even decreases sex drive, which you can take test up with that to offset that. And it's going to decrease your energy outside of the gym, but increase your strength inside the gym. S-23 will increase your energy, strength, and well-being all at the same time outside of the gym. And once post-cycle happens, you will need the L-Dopa to replace the dopamine that you lost so that the prolactin doesn't rise. You won't need that with LGD 4033. As to say this, S-23 needs test up and an L-Dopa product, or test up PCT post-cycle. Or you can get a dopamine agonist with an estrogen. Well, you really don't even need an estrogen blocker after S-23, but after LGD 4033, you will need an estrogen blocker or just test up to boost your natural production of test. Those are going to be the differences in those two being the most anabolic two SARMs that are available. YK11 is not a SARM. Remember that. RAD 140 is going to be a close second to LGD 4033, but LGD 4033 is going to be more potent, and then S-23 is going to be the most potent, but hitting the receptor in a different way, more like a DHT, not testosterone. You could actually use those together to balance the cholesterol. Anyway, I digress. The most potent SARM is S-23 for lean muscle mass, for increased sex drive, for increased energy. Just be sure that you take test up PCT afterwards. It's going to be your show prep type of SARM. Now, with that said, SARMs are not for human consumption. They're not to be eaten, they're not to be snorted, they're not to be banged, they're not to be insufflated. They have not been evaluated by the FDA, the ATF, NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, and Geico does not cover them on your insurance. But you can buy them for research purposes from research chemical companies like newsarms.com. With all that said, Test Up and Test Up PCT are supplements, but they are for human consumption, yet they have not been evaluated by the FDA, and they are not intended to treat, prevent, or cure or cause any disease. Simply, all that we guarantee is what's in those bottles, or what's on those labels, is in those bottles every single time. So, beyond that, any way that I can be of service, my name is Seth Williams. You can email me at sethnhc@att.net, or you can find my text message phone number, my cell phone number, in the below comments, 256-497-0494. Please text me before you call. And this is a long video, so I'm home. Peace. Thank you.